Welcome to all the viewers. This is Dr. Bookworm back with a new video. This video is the second episode of our scholarship training series called Scholarship Mantra, in which we are training you how to win a fully funded scholarship. If you are not still following this playlist, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow this playlist for rest of the episodes of this series. So in today's episode, we are going to talk about the prerequisites to apply for a fully funded scholarship. So if you are someone planning to study abroad for your higher studies, then you need to watch this video. Whether you are a fresher, you are an ongoing student, or you are currently in the process of applying for a fully funded scholarship, this video is very important for you to know that which steps you need to take to enhance and increase the chances of your selection in a fully funded scholarship. So let's go to our computer screen and start our today's episode of our scholarship series called Scholarship Mantra. So in this lecture, we are going to discover the prerequisites to apply for a fully funded scholarship. So moving forward to the contents of this episode, we will be discussing the basic requirements that you need to fulfill in order to apply for a fully funded scholarship, the documentation you need to complete before your application for a scholarship, then the evaluation criteria that is implemented usually to judge the students, to evaluate the student application for a fully funded scholarship, and finally at the end of the video I'm going to share a formula with you that is going to work 100% and increase the chances of your selection for a fully funded scholarship. So make sure you stay tuned by the end of the video. So moving forward to the first section of our video, that is the basic requirements to apply in any scholarship across the globe. So the first step you need to fulfill in order to apply for a scholarship is to get all your documents attested. So if you're watching this video from Pakistan, what you need to do is to get your documents of metric and FSC attested from your relevant board. Like if I have given my exams through Lahore board, then I will go to the Lahore board office, get my documents attested from there, and then they will give me the copies of my documents in an enclosed envelope that I will take for further stamping and attestation from IBCC. So these are the two organizations involved in the attestation process of your metric and FSC documents. So if we talk about the university level transcripts and degrees, like your bachelor's transcript and degree and master's transcript and degree, you need to get it attested from HEC. So HEC attestation has two processes. Either you can get it attested through courier service via TCS, or you can schedule an appointment for a visit to HEC office in Lahore, Islamabad, Karachi, Quetta and Peshawar to get your documents attested. We have a separate video on HEC attestation process that you can watch and get all your documents duly attested. This is one of the very important steps to complete before applying for any fully funded scholarship abroad. The second step you need to fulfill is the letter of acceptance from professor of your selected university. So the letter of acceptance is generally needed in order to apply for different scholarships. So if you are applying in China, if you are applying in Australia, if you are applying in Europe, you need to have an acceptance from the professor that is offering you that particular PhD or master's position. So to get an acceptance letter is one of the steps that is involved to apply for any scholarship, for most of the scholarships. The third step is to maintain a good academic record. So if you are someone watching this video while you are already studying in a university in your BS or Masters and looking forward to apply in future for a fully funded scholarship, then make sure that you have a very good above average academic record to showcase in your profile. So there are some people that do not consider CGPA as an important criterion, but it is sometimes the only primary criteria to shortlist the candidates to apply for a particular scholarship. Like most of the scholarship mention that you need to have this much of percentage of marks in your previous degree in order to apply for the scholarship program. So CGPA is one of the criteria that takes you ahead of that stage of shortlisting and get you evaluated for a particular scholarship. So make sure to maintain a good academic record during your university career, during your degree program. Then you need to have a research proposal. So there are many myths related to research proposal in the market. So students are very afraid that they need to draft a research proposal before applying for any scholarship. That's not the case at all. You don't need a research proposal at the beginning of your application program. Research proposal is required at the later stages when you get an acceptance, when you get a confirmation from the supervisor that he's happy to take you as a student. Then he shares further information with you about the project, and you both communicate with each other and come to the common terms and select the project, and then you plan how you want to go about it. So in most of the cases, the supervisor already have a draft plan in his hand. So he shared that plan with you, and you further refine it and transform it in the form of research proposal. So initially you just need to have your CV to contact the professor and to apply for different positions. Once you get through that step, then in communication with your prospect supervisor, you developed a research plan or research proposal. So don't worry about it, and you do not need it at the beginning of your process. Then you need a European CV, European style CV. So here the students make a mistake that they use a job style CV, or they either use a resume when an academic CV is demanded from them. So when a CV is demanded from you, you need to provide an academic CV, and the most acceptable format is the European style CV that you can create freely from Europass website, which is the official website of European Union that provide you the CV in an internationally acceptable format. Statement of motivation. So again, if you are applying for positions, master's or PhD positions, that you might need to provide a statement of motivation, a statement of purpose, or personal statement to assure that you are the right candidate for that particular position. If you don't know how to write a motivation letter, we have a separate video. You can go to the playlist and watch that video in order to understand the difference between the motivation letter, statement of purpose, and personal statement, and how to write a letter of motivation without any template. So make sure you are not following any template on the internet and you are just copy pasting the stuff over there. Everyone has a unique story, and you need to present yourself realistically while writing these letters. Then one thing that you may need in order to increase the chances of your selection for a fully funded scholarship is the English language test. So either you need IELTS or TOEFL, depending on which country you are applying in. Both of these tests are generally acceptable across the globe, but if you are applying to US, then you need to have TOEFL. TOEFL is preferable in US and more acceptable over there. For the rest of the world, IELTS is okay, and you can have a good IELTS score to apply anywhere in the world. Then strong reference letters. Sometimes you need to provide strong reference letters in order to apply for a scholarship. So you can get these reference letter either from the academic referees, that are your previous teachers or supervisors in the previous degree program, or you can get it from your employer. If you are a jobian and already doing a relevant field job, then you can get it from your employer as well, or you can get it from someone like a representative of a volunteer organization with whom you are interacting for the last few years, and the person who knows you well enough. So depending on the scholarship you are applying in, you might need to provide 2 or 3 reference letters. So make sure you have good contact with your previous supervisors and they have good thinking about you, so you can always come up with the strong reference letters in the future. Relevant work experience or research papers. Again, there are many myths associated with the work experience. If you are a fresher, you don't need any work experience. You should include internships, summer internships, 1 or 2 relevant internships in the relevant department you are pursuing the degree in. Or if you have a study gap, then you should have a relevant work experience. So don't look at the salary in the beginning after completion of your degree program. If you are intended to apply for a scholarship, make sure you get a relevant job if you are taking a break after completion of your degree program. And research papers and publications. Publications again is not a compulsory criteria in order to win a fully funded scholarship, but yes, it is a bonus. If you have it, that is going to be a plus point for you. And obviously it takes time to publish your data. If you have done masters, then obviously you will get your results in the final semester, and when you finalize your thesis, after that you are going to be able to write a paper out of it and publish it. So it takes time. So it is normal to take a break after the completion of your masters in order to prepare your application for a fully funded scholarship. So take your time, take a break, and keep working towards improving your profile to apply for a fully funded scholarship. Participation in extracurricular activities is considered very important in the scholarships, in which they are looking for the leadership skills, exchange programs, cultural exchange programs, internships, fully funded internships. So in all those cases, they are looking for the proactive students that are, along with the academics, also involved in the extracurricular and co-curricular activities, in the community engagement programs, in the volunteer organizations, etc. So it also adds up into your profile and gives a positive impact about you. Certificates of online courses. So these days, after COVID, everything has shifted to online learning. So it is very important to acquire some of the skills or certifications online through MOOCs. So you can either do the courses through EDX, Coursera, Iversity, and there are many other platforms through which you can do the field relevant online courses. So moving forward to the attestation of documents, we have a separate video for that. I have already told you, so you can watch this video and get your documents attested from HEC. Then after the attestation of your metric, intermediate, and university documentation, you need to attest all your documents and identity documents through MOFA, that is Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So again, you can visit the MOFA office and get all your documents attested at the end when you have completed your relevant board attestation, IBCC attestation, and HEC attestation. So how to catch the big fish? This is a good question about how you can get an acceptance from a professor. So this is generally the longest part of scholarship hunting process. Acceptance letter from professor of your selected university is required most of the time to apply for a scholarship program. So in order to get an acceptance, you need to prepare a well drafted email that should be grammatically correct. The greetings should be correct, and it should be precise, not long enough that it is often neglected by the professor, and it should only contain the relevant information, and attached your CV in the European format. As I have previously told you, you don't need to attach any other documents like a cover letter if it is not demanded. At initial email, you just need to attach your CV in the European format, in the internationally acceptable format. Visit the profile of the relevant professors. So you need to shortlist the professors you are going to try to contact, and the professor should have the same field in which you have been working previously and you intend to work in the future as well. Exhibiting strong passion. So you should draft your email, customize your email according to each of the professor you are going to contact. Don't send the same repetitive email taken from Google to 300 professors in a day. That is never going to work, no matter how much big number you are going to target for with the random emails. Don't bombard their inboxes without any reason. You need to develop each email for each professor in a very professional manner, mentioning that which area of research you want to pursue with him, and why you are choosing him as your prospective supervisor. So to get an acceptance, you need to finalize the topic or the research area you are interested in. You need to select the country you want to apply for the fully funded scholarship. Then you need to search the relevant universities. Then you should go to the relevant department of each university in the among the list of universities. Then you need to visit the faculty profiles and find out the professors that have the same research and interest as yours. And then you need to organize all this data in the form of folders in your computer, so you can take a record of your progress towards acceptance letter. So good academic record is one of the key things that you need. But You don't need to be a gold medalist or you don't need to be a distinction holder in order to get a fully funded scholarship. With a good academic record, I mean a good average of the overall CGPA. So if you have something between 3.2 to 4 out of 4, then it is going to work in your favor, obviously. In academics, there is no ideal profile. There is always a balanced profile. So make sure that you are balanced in every area of your profile. You should have a good academic record. You should have a good score in English proficiency tests. You should have good online certifications. You should have some of the awards and honors. You should have participated in the relevant conferences. You should have internships, or if study gap, relevant work experience, etc. So all of these things combinedly makes a good academic profile. So especially the CGPA or marks in the relevant subjects that you want to pursue your degree further are very important. So do not lose hope. If you do not have good CGPA, you can balance it by having other good qualities in your profile. Research proposal. As I have told you that research proposal is not required at the beginning. At the beginning, you just need a CV in the international format in order to start the process, and later in the further stages, after getting the acceptance, you will find out the topic of your mutual interest after discussing with your prospective supervisor. Then you will develop a research proposal. European format CV, as I have told you that this is internationally acceptable format and you can go to the Europass website to create one for you. Statement of purpose. We have a separate video explaining the statement of purpose, letter of motivation and personal statement and how to draft them in order to win a fully funded scholarship. So yes, so there are two broadly accepted, internationally accepted English language tests. One is TOEFL and one is IELTS. TOEFL is conducted by the Educational Testing Service (ETS) and IELTS is conducted by two organizations. One is British Council, that is a UK-based organization, and one is the IDP, that is Australian organization that conducts IELTS. So there is a myth that the IELTS from British Council is more valid or IELTS from IDP is easier. So these are just the misconceptions. Both of them are standardized tests and both of the organizations take these tests in a standardized manner, and there is no difficulty level difference between the two organizations. So if you are applying in Australia, better to go with the Australian organization. Otherwise, British Council is generally acceptable everywhere, including Australia as well. So giving a brief introduction about IELTS and TOEFL, we have a separate lecture on IELTS and TOEFL where I will be explaining in detail how to prepare for IELTS and TOEFL and how to score well in these English language tests. So IELTS has two categories, one is general and one is academic. If you are applying for educational purpose, you will always go for academic IELTS. So there are 4 portions on which you are tested. One is listening, reading, writing and speaking. So these are the 4 areas in which you are testing, in which your English language skills are being tested. So the validity of both IELTS and TOEFL is 2 years. So if you have given IELTS or TOEFL this year, it will stay valid for the next 2 years. So it is a very good thing, and you can keep on applying for different scholarships after attempting IELTS or TOEFL for one time. For some of the scholarship, like in China, you can use the English proficiency certificate as well, especially if you have done your degree from an institute where the medium of instruction was English. Strong reference letters. What is a reference letter? So reference letters can be of 2 types. One is a general reference letter and the other is the specific or targeted reference letter. So a general reference letter is the one in which the referee states that he knows you well enough and he recommends you for any scholarship you are going to target in future. But this general reference letter should not be used. It is not recommended to use a general reference letter because it may appear to be less targeted, less meaningful. Rather, the targeted or specific reference letter that specifies that this person, I am being a strong reference for this person who is applying for this scholarship. Like if you are applying for a Chinese government scholarship, you can the referee will mention that I am supporting this student and I can be contacted in case of any further information regarding the student applying for the Chinese government scholarship. So in this way, he is particularly mentioning that scholarship in which you are applying. So it gives a more sense of responsibility or focus in terms of providing a good reference. How to write a good reference letter? So a reference letter should not be boosting too much or making the vague stories about you. So it should be realistic, and it should only mention the realistic credentials of the student. So if you don't have a very good CGPA, do not write in the reference letter that this student has an exceptional academic record. So it goes totally against the facts. So make sure that the reference letter is well balanced and well typed, and there are no grammatical mistakes. So and the very important thing, that the reference letter should not be more than 3 months old. So here comes the relevant work experience or publications. So you are supposed to try to get some research papers published out of your research projects, or if you haven't conducted any research project during your BS or bachelor's program, then you should try to write a review article by communicating or collaborating with your seniors or professors. So if you have job experience, relevant job experience, make sure you add you get the experience letters from the organizations you are working with, and add that information in your CV. Certificate of participation in conferences, especially the international conferences, is very healthy for your profile. Internships, summer internships and exchange programs are one of the ways to improve your profile. Any short courses or certifications can also add value. In addition to that, you should also participate in the extracurricular activities like sports activities, athletics, debate competitions, scout activities, event management, and welfare activities. So it shows that you can do multiple things at the time, and you are a responsible person, and you are not a bookworm like me. So be aware of the genies while adding those certificates in your profile. So I would categorize the certificates into categories before mentioning them in my CV. So the category A certificates are supposed to be the ones that are exactly relevant to your field of interest, like any skill, any professional certification, any training program regarding any lab skills would be included in the category A. Category B certificates would be those that are not relevant to your field but adds value or add a particular skill to your overall profile. And the category C certificates are very common these days. So what the volunteer organizations or youth networks are doing these days, they are providing certificates to the students for very petty stuff. Like if you are running a campaign on Twitter, they would provide you a certificate that this person has participated in the blah blah Twitter campaign. So this certificate has no worth, and this should not be included in your CV. Like if you have attended any event that is of no professional value, this certificate should not be in your CV. So make sure you are only adding the right certificates in your CV while applying for the scholarship. So MOOCs can be done from different websites. There are many universities that are offering free courses. The top ranked universities like Cambridge, Oxford, Harvard, University of Queensland are providing free courses on their websites that you can go and attend and complete and get a certificate. So the general evaluation criteria to get a fully funded scholarship includes your good academic record. The weightage may vary depending on which scholarship you are applying in. Statement of motivation, strong reference letters, your English language test score, and relevant work experience or publications. Then coming towards the formula to win a fully funded scholarship. So consistency is the key to apply for a fully funded scholarship. The more you know about the scholarship, the better application you can build and submit in order to increase the chances of your selection. So make sure that you know every bit of information about a scholarship that you are applying in, and then draft your profile, improve your profile over time, and make sure it aligns with the requirement of the scholarship. So some scholarships are focused on the leadership skills, then you should acquire the leadership skills. If it is focused on the academic record, then you should have a strong academic record. If it is focused on English language test score, then you should have good score in that. If it requires GRE, then you should give your 100% to get a good score in GRE. Then be confident while applying. Confidence comes with information. If you have all the information, if you know everything about the scholarship, you will be more confident about applying in. So applying for a scholarship is not a one-day process. You need to know that scholarship. You need to build your profile according to that scholarship in order to increase the chances of your selection. Be self-organized. So you need to motivate yourself for every small achievement, for every small step you are taking towards your fully funded scholarship. Stay well informed, connect yourself with the right people, connect yourself with the right groups, right platforms. So there is information on every social platform. You can find information on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, everywhere. So you need to join the alumni groups. You need to read the success stories of the students that have been selected for prestigious scholarships while being from the developing countries, how they overcome the different difficulties in the process of attaining a fully funded scholarship. This will inspire you, this will enable you to learn those skills without making the mistakes over the years that others would make, and then learn from their experience. So here comes the conclusion or the short summary of today's episode. So overall, to win a fully funded scholarship, you need to have these qualities in your profile. First of all, above average CGPA. If it is out of 4, then it should be above 3.2 ideally. IELTS with 6.5 bands or above if you are targeting the English speaking countries particularly. Then you need to have 1 to 2 publications in the relevant field. Make sure your publications are relevant to the area of your previous degree. Do not add your names or do not participate in the publications that do not have any link with your current research area or the area of your interest. A good research proposal should be drafted at the later stage if you get an acceptance. Practical experience in the relevant field, so you should know the right skills, lab skills, statistical skills, analytical skills, and all other skills that are required to do research in your particular field. Then if you are a fresher, you need internships. If you have a study gap, then relevant work experience, then online certifications. So always believe that I can and I will. End of the story. You don't need any external motivation. The motivation comes from inside, and that is enough to succeed in life. The future belongs to you, to the competent. Get good, get better, be the best. So it is a time-taking process to improve your profile, build your profile, and win a fully funded scholarship. It is not a overnight process. So make sure you do the right efforts towards it. With that, this is Dr. Bookworm signing off. Thank you. See you in the next episode.